Be careful who you compare yourself to, who you take advice from, who you decide whose opinion you value. The one that I always come back to on deciding if I'm going to take someone's advice is, do I want their life? If I looked at their life, and this can be in segments of it, health, wealth, relationships, those kinds of things. If I looked at it and go, do I want that person's life? This for me is always the first, category that you need to test on. Looking at their lives, would I want to trade places with them? Would I want the body and the health that they have? Would I want the finances and the business and the wealth that they have? Do I want, their relationships? Do I want their work ethic? Do I look at their life and go, yeah, that's something I aspire to be? Because at the starting point, if the answer isn't no, well, what difference does it make what their opinion is? And I often see this with, family and friends and people who are giving advice, and it's often well-meaning, but if they haven't built the thing that you're seeking, who fucking cares? Who cares what they look like, what their life looks like, what that area looks like? Because, they're talking from hypothetical. They're not talking from practical. And there is an astronomical difference between hypothetical and practical. And I have been victim's the wrong word, perpetrator of this myself. I remember being young and dumb and naive, and in my early 20s being like, everybody has the same 24 hours. You just have to want it. And look, this is a true fucking statement. And it's still something I teach, that you have to just decide what your priorities are and what actually matters to you. But when I was in my 20s, that was much fucking easier because, the majority of what I had to worry about was me. Had a few clients here and there, did a bit of work, but on the majority of my life, all I had to worry about was me. So I'd work out for massive hours of the day. I'd, sit around, I'd sleep in, I could, go to work, come home and go back to bed. The majority of my time belonged to me, so it was really easy to segment out this time to prioritize the things that matter to me. It wasn't a big ask. Fast forward to my 30s, now I have 2 beautiful children that I wouldn't trade for the world. I have my most incredible wife. I have a business that I work full-time in. I have all these other responsibilities. My time is not my own. In fact, I have very small amount of time that is my own that I get to block out for the things that matter to me. So it becomes even more important that I do exactly that I prioritize in those moments the things that are actually important. Not me sedating, not me hiding from the world, not me running away. Actually doing the things that truly matter. But it comes from a different place. And it had this triggered thought because I had some douche monkey comment on a video and he's like, look at this genetically gifted dude. It's easy for him to talk about it because he never had to work for it. He's in his life and he has all these things at his fingertips. Believe me or not, but I am not genetically gifted. Not by any stretch of the imagination. I had to build this and I had to work out the best way to do it. And, it's taken me 570 plus days to truly refine this process and build it into something of note. But I got there. I built that from effort, from consistency, from learning from my mistakes, from doing the work over and over and over again. This is how I got here. And it was more important, not less important, now that I have 2 children. My I have 2 kids under 4. They are 4 and 3. I have these things that matter. But my fitness, my health, these kinds of things matter. So you need to look at where these people are in life, and do they have the same responsibilities? As I said, it was really easy for me to talk a big fucking game when I was in my 20s because I didn't have any responsibilities. I have a lot of responsibilities, and I have to make really clear, definitive decisions about blocking out time for my workouts, for my health, my fitness. Most of the time I do it when my children are sleeping. Those are the times I get to do it. And I still do it. I work out every single day. I've just done it, and I'm on my way from finishing up with one group of clients, and I'm on my way to the next group of clients, and I squeezed in a 45-minute window between clients to get that done. Now I'm on to the next lot. And I still get in my 45-minute walk every day. Often that means I do it at night. After I've put my kids to bed, after I've finished work, I come home and I load up, I grab the dog, and off we go. But it's about what you prioritize, because it would be so much easier to sit down on the couch and watch TV with my wife. It'd be so much easier to just sedate. But I have shit to do. I have dreams that I want to achieve. I have people who depend on me. I don't get the luxury of going, well, I don't feel like it. My feelings are fucking irrelevant. I make these decisions about what matters most to my priorities. And my priorities are my daughter, my son, and my wife. And after that, my clients. That's where my priorities lie. So I don't get the opportunity to be like, I don't want it today. That sounds boring. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. I'd much rather do these things. No. I'm working towards something that matters. So therefore, I have to do the things that matter. So it comes down to comparing yourself to those things. And you can make that decision at any time. And the irony for me is that I look back at my 20s with all the time in the world, all the opportunities, all the luxuries. And I was in half the shape that I am in now. In fact, I often let myself go in my 20s because of that. And that was part of that first shock when I had kids, and I was like, holy shit, my time is not my time anymore. And I went so far backwards. And it took some serious wake-up calls from the universe to pull my shit together and go, this is not the man I want to be for them. To look into my daughter's eyes, to look into my son's eyes and go, I want to make you proud. And here's the caveat. I was thinking about it this other day, and someone said to me, and they're like, well, your kids will love you and be proud of you no matter what. They will while they're young. They will, because they just love you. You're just dad. Assuming you show up and you participate, and they'll fucking love you. But it's when they get older and they look back and they figure out who you are as a man that I want them to look back and go, my dad did all the things. He did everything that was necessary to build this incredible life for us. He showed us the way. He showed us by example. I don't want them to look back and go, my dad was a fraud. I think that would be the worst day of my life if they look back and go, oh, I thought you were a superhero. And in fact, you were just a liar. I don't ever want to reach that point. But it becomes that you need to look at people who are A, living the type of life that you want, B, living the same type of life that you are, and C, have achieved it through the methodologies that actually work, who are walking the walk, not just talking the talk. The amount of times I've seen, especially in fitness, where when theory meets the road, when the rubber meets the road, it doesn't fucking work. This shit works. I'm walking proof that this works. As I said, I'm in the best shape of my life at 34. I've never been this fit, this strong, this shredded, this healthy, any of it. I continue to improve every day. And by design. Because I make definitive decisions to be that way. That's my goal. It's impossible. I'm well aware that it's an impossible goal. But my goal is to continue to get better every single day until the day I die. Just year on, year out, just improving, getting better. And as I said, I know it's impossible, but that's the way I want to chase it. But you also need to compare, as much as possible, apples to apples. I was having this discussion today with one of my friends, and I appreciated her for calling me out. Because, to be honest, I've been doing this. I've been talking to you, but I haven't really pulled the trigger on giving you the opportunity for me to help you, for me to truly step up and do something with this. I would just want to talk about it and provide information here, but I haven't given you the tools, the methodologies, and the chance to actually properly work with me to make this happen. And part of it is that I am scared. Part of it is that I don't feel like I am good enough to do that yet. I look at my body and I'm like, I'm not in good enough shape to teach you how to get into great shape. And that's an insecurity on my behalf that I am working on, and one that I am trying to address and improve. But this friend of mine sent me a bunch of other people who are doing it, and I was like, I'm in better shape than them. And not that it matters on that level, but it was about identifying that the insecurities were stopping me. That my insecurities, because I'm comparing myself to bodybuilders in their 20s who are stage ready and going, well, I don't look like that. And going, well, until I reach that level, which is an unrealistic standard to maintain long term, I believe I can reach that level. I'm rapidly heading towards it, but they are like that for, small portions of the year, not all year round. And I still need to get up and function every day. So I need to be comparing apples to apples and get out of my own way and realize that I can deliver you the results that you want, that you need, that you deserve. And in such a phenomenal level. I've been doing this a really long time, and yet I still get fucking nervous. As I said, I have been training people for over 18 years. I've had my gym for 13 years. I have been doing this for a really, really, really long time. Literally my entire adult life I have been doing this. And a little bit before, I got qualified when I was 17. And it's about knowing who you are working with and who you can help. And looking at the people and going, as I said, do they have this life? And I have been to the bottom. I have been fat. I have been disgusted with the man in the mirror, and I have hated every second of it. And I had to pull myself up, and I had to pull myself out, because I don't have the genetics that means I can let this slip. I don't have the genetics and the blessings that mean I can do this easy and play this off. I have to do the work, and I have to walk the walk, because I can't get away with riding on genetics and luck and blessings. No, I have to do this. It's also why I know I can deliver it for you, because I don't have the blessings that needed, and I've got myself to here. I can hand you the tools from experience with myself, from experience with my clients, from my experience of an entire adult lifetime of doing this. I know that I can change your life. It's not a question of if, it's a matter of when. That if you commit, if you go all in, if you make that decision, like we've discussed many times, if you fundamentally make that decision, I will change your life. And that is unquestioning. The only question becomes, are you willing to start demanding greatness of yourself? Are you willing to join me on this journey and to see who you can become? Because if you are, the world's your oyster. So now's your moment. Shoot me a message, comment on this video, and let's start demanding greatness.